Uh-oh, it's super loose. Oh, man. Oh.
You in Utah?
I've never played in front of that many people.
Hey guys, so in this video I wanted to take a look at some of the ways that you can practice and develop as a hockey player from home. Now, there are countless products out there that allow you to do this away from the ice, whether that be synthetic ice or off-ice training aids that you do in your street shoes or in inline skates. There's a bunch of different methods that are out there. Now, you guys know that I'm a big fan of synthetic ice, for example, but if you want to develop as a player and your time on the ice is limited, as it definitely is for us here in the UK, it means that you have to kind of think creatively outside the box. You have to do things away from your arena, away from your team to be able to develop as a player. Now that means that your actual ability to stick handle, your ability to shoot, but more importantly, it's going to be your cognitive ability on the ice. In other words, your hockey sense. This is probably one of the most difficult things to develop if you don't have constant access to ice and also players or coaching to allow you to do so. Of course, guys, as a side note, stick curve t-shirts, stick curve hats, I am hockey jumpers, which are in black and also beige and grey. All of those are linked down below in the video description for worldwide shipping. And of course, the custom jerseys. A big thank you for everyone that ordered the camo jerseys. Those are now done, they're gone. Any videos that we post moving forward are gonna have the brand new hockey tutorial jerseys, which you guys were a part of selecting on Instagram. I'll tease them over here. All of the links will be down below in the video description to be able to pick up our custom hockey tutorial jerseys, where you can have your name, your number, your country flag on the back. Of course, bear in mind, these are custom made to order. All the links will be down below, but let's jump back into the video. I can't think of how many players that I personally know out there that can stick handle very well. They can shoot very well. They can skate very well. But one thing that they lack at is the cognitive ability that you need on the ice, the hockey sense, to be able to make you a great player. That's something that takes time and repetition to be able to develop. Now, if you're a regular beer leaguer or recreational player, as we call it in the UK, rec hockey, it means that you might at best be skating twice a week if you're a really avid player. You're trying to get as much ice time as you can. But when you break it down and you look at the actual time and contact time you have with the puck, in an hour skating scrimmage or session, that might translate to maybe 10 minutes if you're lucky. That just isn't enough time for you to be able to develop cognitively. So what do? Of course, synthetic ice is great at being able to work on the fundamental skills that are needed: skating, stick handling, shooting. But if you're trying to work on your sense, what can you do? Now, this is where Sens Arena comes in. If you guys have been watching the channel for a while, we took a trip to Sweden where we hung out with the guys at Starzone Hockey, which is a sick training facility out in Stockholm. Now, the guys at Starzone Hockey are incredibly good at what they do, and when we first met them, they had a very early iteration of Sense Arena's VR goggles that you could use to train. When I put these things on, I was immediately transported to a new reality, a new world, where I was standing center stage on the ice and I was able to work on a bunch of different skills. Over time, Sense Arena has now evolved and, of course, as we know, partnered up with the NHL to become NHL Sense Arena. And what I wanted to do in this video is show you, kind of like not review it, because there's a bunch of videos out there that you can watch, but I wanted to explain from my perspective why I think that this is a great tool for hockey players to have. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what Sense Arena is, it's a virtual reality cognitive training development tool for hockey players using the MetaQuest 3 or the MetaQuest 3S, which is the newest one out. You essentially put these goggles on and you're transported to an NHL arena where you can train on numerous skills to help develop your cognitive ability on the ice. The way it essentially works is these goggles go in your head, and then this device gets attached to your hockey stick along with one of these VR controllers slotted inside it. Now, it sounds pretty simple setup, but once you put it on, I can't describe how realistic it feels without you actually trying it. The stick moves in exactly the same motions that it does in real life, the hockey stick that you're holding on the VR system. Aside from that, the ice surface itself looks incredibly realistic. The players look real. The environment feels like you're standing in an arena. It's unreal. But aside from the glitz and glam of what this thing looks like and how it makes you feel, it's what you can work on. Once you're inside the VR system, you can work on passing drills that can be incredibly cognitively challenging, or they can just be simple warm-up drills to get you going to understand the mechanics and the engine of how the system works. Because of course, there's not a real puck. You're holding a real stick, but there's not a real puck. So you need to get used to how to be able to control it, receive passes, give passes accurately. But once you get your head wrapped around that, the possibilities are honestly endless. Some of the cognitive drills that put you in real scenarios, real game-like scenarios where you are perhaps in the slot, players everywhere, and what your job is to do is to find the player that's in the best position to be able to maximize your opportunity of scoring a goal. If you think about trying to replicate these scenarios on the ice, what do you need? You need an entire ice surface. You need a goalie, you need numerous players. If you wanted to try this type of drill out 5 times in a day, 10 times in a day, 20, it's not something that is practical for 99.9% of us watching this video to be able to have that real life scenario happening at an arena. But with Sens, you can do this in your living room, in a garage, in your garden, in the front of your house, pretty much anywhere that you have space to be able to move around with a stick in your hands, to be able to replicate real on-ice scenarios. But most importantly, you're able to repeat them as many times as you want to until you are comfortable being able to use that hockey sense to pick out the most logical player to feed the puck to be able to increase your chances of scoring a goal. Some of these drills are insanely challenging. You can adapt them based on your skill level, what you're trying to work on, but it's just unbelievable that this is something that you can do with a set of goggles and a controller pretty much anywhere that you are. It's unreal. Now, of course, something that we did that's a bit weird is that we had players actually performing some of the drills from the VR system from NHL Sense Arena on the ice, on real ice. And what I wanted to do was take them from the ice, while they're still on the ice, straight into the VR system to see what it feels like from a aesthetics perspective. What does it look like? How does the engine translate to your brain? Does it feel real? Does it feel like you're on the ice? I think that's a really important element to do. Of course, this isn't how the system would be used, because if you have an entire arena to yourself, you can train. But I just wanted to do it to see their first reactions, to see what they think of it. But after this, of course, we took them into the locker rooms and went through the system properly so they could give us their first impressions, their real opinions of what it's like to use the system, how realistic it is, and if they feel from pro players' perspectives, if it's something that would develop your cognitive ability to make you a stronger and better player on the ice. Let's check that out.
Yeah, so I think my first impressions of the technology was, I was a bit mind blown. We tried it out on the ice at the start. So I'm here at a rink in England, and next thing you know, I pop the lens on and I'm in Utah.
The way it looks is really cool. Oh, it's telling me what to do. Complete a pass to your teammate marked with the red circle. Oh, that was a muffin.
Uh-oh, it's super loose. Oh, man. Oh.
You in Utah?
I've never played in front of that many people. Okay, I got her now. I'm dishing it.
So it was kind of mind-blowing on how visually accurate it actually was, comparative to being into a rink and actually what the stick looks like at a dress. It was all pretty cool. It was a little bit tough on the ice just because naturally my feet were moving to receive passes. So it was making it hard because I was moving out of the calibrated box that was given to me for the drills. But then when we came inside the dressing room, it was a lot simpler for me to kind of understand where I had to keep my feet still and just use the stick and develop stick skills. So I think it's a pretty cool technology for people who don't have access to ice every single day, which is a very little group of people. So this kind of gives people an opportunity to work on their fine skills and stick skills and kind of develop the cognitive side of the game. So the technology is quite mind-blowing, and it's crazy that the sport and this is how far we've come from a long ways away. So it's exciting to see that people are going to have access to the ability to develop their skills and their fine motor skills, and also cognitive ability within the game from the comfort of their home or wherever they can possibly get a stick in their hand.
You shooting again?
Yeah.
Try 1T. I think 1T is the way to go with that.
I'm scared for standing.
Yeah, there you go. See, 1T.
Cambridge goal.
Where'd you get that one?
3 for 11.
Ah, it's not bad.
Oh, you're right there.
It's cool, you know? It's something you don't expect to happen. You put it on and then you can play hockey in your living room, right? As long as you're not gonna, stick the TV or maybe take the Christmas tree down with your hockey stick. But you can play hockey in the comfort of your own home.
Oh, that's
Which, most people don't get to do. You can play hockey every single day and you don't have to go anywhere. And for us British people, we get ice maybe 2-3 times a week if you're lucky. So to be able to put the headset on and play hockey at home, it's going to make a world of difference.
Now, I think the biggest success for me with NHL Sense Arena is the fact that it doesn't feel like you're training. I've said this so many times. I've said this with the synthetic ice as well from Gleiss. You get on and it just feels like you're having a good time. Now, while being on synthetic ice or using training aids allows you to work on those, skills that are the physical elements, being able to shoot, being able to stick handle, around objects, working on your hands, working on your skating, working on your sense is something that is impossible to do unless you're on the ice. So while this is an incredibly practical tool for you to use to develop one of the most challenging and arguably one of the most important skill sets a player can have, because in my opinion, you don't have to be the best shooter, the best stick handler, the best skater, but if you can read the players and read the game accurately and always know the best moves to make, that can make you an incredibly strong and invaluable player for your team. But let me get around to the best part of this is one of the biggest advantages or perks with this is that it doesn't feel like you're training. It just feels like you're playing a video game and having fun. And one of the most addictive elements to it is if you do a drill and you get 1 out of 10, you feel like, no, that wasn't good enough. You want to go back in, you want to try to up your score, you want to try and get as much as you can. This is one of the elements that makes hockey as a sport or a lifestyle so addictive. You get on the ice, you have a great experience, you want to do better, better, better every single time you get on the ice. And it's exactly the same thing with the NHL Sense Arena system. You get on and you want to improve constantly, which makes you want to play more and more. And of course, it's not just a video game. You're working on actual cognitive skills that are going to translate onto the ice to make you a better player. Of course, guys, let's not forget, if you want to be able to pick up NHL Sense Arena, there'll be a link down below in the video description. There's no affiliate codes, guys. This is something that I just really, really love. I think it's an incredible system, and it's awesome to see how it's changed over the years and evolved into what it is now. The goggles themselves have come an incredibly long way. They're super comfortable, super small. There's no cables, no big battery packs attached to it. It's incredible how far the technology has come, and it's nice to see that the system has improved graphically in terms of the wealth of drills that are on there, the updates that these guys do, constantly pumping the NHL Sense Arena system with more training drills, more exercises, more content, and also being able to adapt it depending on what's going on in hockey around the world. Whether it be winter classical elements or even introducing a new NHL stadium for us to be able to train in, it's unreal. So make sure you check it out. The link will be down below in the video description. And of course, if they have any deals or discounts going on, that will also be down below in the video description, so make sure you don't miss out on that. As always, guys, big thank you for watching the video all the way to the end. Hopefully, you've taken away something from this video. The fact that VR is at a point now where it can help us develop as hockey players, I think that's sick. If you want more information on NHL Sense Arena, the link will be down below in the video description. Big thank you for watching. Big thank you to NHL Sense Arena for getting us back on the system and being able to see how it continues to grow and develop to help us develop as players. Big thanks, guys. Don't forget to like, thumbs up, and I'll catch you in the next one.